Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to the long-awaited edition of the Wellness Homesteader, where we are going to go through all of the items that you can custom order for your Christmas, holiday, and gifting needs. So, let me start out first by bending over. Doggone it. Oh, Lordy. I have too much stuff. Let me just tell you what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about prices. I don't want anybody to start the order process and then feel like the price is not in their budget and then feel obligated in some way. I mean, that's just not how I want it to go for you. So I'm going to tell you right up front, if when we are working out what you want something additional or whatsoever, we can discuss price at that time. But I would like you to know up front the few items that I have for sale and how much it will be. So there's that. We're also going to talk about what's available. So there's a variety of 2, 4, 6 things that I'm going to sell right now. And there may be more later down the road. And then we're going to go through all the fabric choices. So I want to educate you first a little bit about what I mean by quilted padding or Insulbright. What is all of that and how would you decide what you want? Well, I hope you'll stay tuned to find out. All right, y'all. So let me give you a quick education on the interior material, say that 3 times fast, of my hand-sewn items, my hand-created items. So the first thing is quilting batting. So I use 100% cotton, and the reason it is yellowish or beigeish compared to a pure white is because I choose, the batting that isn't bleached. So you're not going to have the chemicals to deal with. A lot of quilt batting nowadays is polyester or some kind of synthetic, which is fine. It's just not what I choose. I try to make my products as natural as I can. That said, so this is cotton quilt batting. We have a product called Insulbright. Now, if you look, it looks real shiny. I would call this the reverse side, but it doesn't show because it goes inside. And then this is the right side. And if you look real closely, you can see it's got all these little dots. What's impregnated, you can kind of see through it, I don't know if you can on the video, with a metal. So here you can kind of see at the edge, see it looks like a little tinfoil type stuff sticking out. So what does Insulbright do? Well, first let me tell you what it doesn't do. It doesn't guarantee up to a certain temperature that it is protective. However, on the insert for Insulbright, it definitely says that it can be used for things like hot mitts. So this is the insert to it. It is also made by the Warm Company, which is who my batting is made by. Let's see. Pot holders, oven mitts, casserole covers. It's polyester fibers needle punched through a non-woven substrate and through a reflective metallized film. The needled material breathes and won't break down after washing. And I can totally swear to that, because I have washed the heck out of my canning mats because they get washed every time I use them. And I can a lot. I haven't this year, but normally I do, and I've had mine probably 5 years. The fiber resists conduction, while the reflective metallized film resists radiant energy. The energy, hot or cold, is reflected back to the source. Not for use in the microwave. It says use with at least 1 layer of cotton batting, like warm and natural, to absorb condensation. So that's how I do it. And they have all sorts of uses listed here, even apparel, like ski apparel, window shades, draft stoppers, placemats, table runners, casserole covers. I mean, so many things. Okay, that's enough about the 2 materials. So let's set these aside. Y'all, my craft room needs a good clean, so just don't pay any attention to what you see on the floor. I might have spilled half of a jar of Mod Podge on the carpet. goodness it's water soluble. All right, so what is available? Well, let's start first. Can you tell this is take two? With a beautiful canning mat. So my canning mats are, I had to write this down, guys, so excuse me for looking, 18 inches by 24 inches. So they're a good size, if you can see here. This fabric, which I'm going to give numbers and letters to all the fabric, so stay tuned for that. This is what I'm calling Thanksgiving fabric because it says thankful, grateful, blessed, gathered together and be grateful, give thanks. They didn't have any like turkey Thanksgiving fabrics, but I like this because you could use it through the whole season in whatever application you choose, because you could choose it for a table runner as well. I'm limited on how much I have of all of these fabrics. So again, it will be first come, first serve, and I will know when you attempt to place your order or when you email me, I will know whether I can fulfill that order or not. And if I have to go back and purchase some different fabrics, of course, there'll be an update video. So what is this comprised of? Well, it is 2 layers of 100% cotton fabric, a layer of the batting, and a layer of the Insulbright. Why do I use this? When you take jars out of the canner, it protects the surface that you're going to leave them on, number 1. Number 2, it helps your jars not to get shocked and burst. If you've ever had that happen, like have a jar crack because you're going from a really hot canner to maybe an air-conditioned room. I've not had that problem because my house is always hot when I can, seems like. But the third thing, and I can't give you statistics on this that are proven, all I can tell you is my experience, my jars seal better when I put them on a canning mat. Now I have already been lazy and I'll just put it on a dish towel, and I will sometimes have seal failures. But this will actually reflect the heat back in the jar and allow it to cool kind of naturally and not burn your countertop. These things, guys, are so useful. They're also useful if you want to just put one of these in the middle of your table. If you're going to serve a family style, y'all, I apologize. Things are just flying everywhere here. Oh, can't lose my notes. Okay, so the canning mat, $25. And guys, I have tried really hard to pin comments from people that have purchased from me, and some of them 3-4 years ago, still using the product and speaking to the quality, because I'm not going to turn out a product that I don't believe is quality. This has a lot of nice top stitching. So you can see I used a rust sort of orangey color, and it's really nice and thick. So that is item number 1. It's called a canning mat. Now we get into the, oh my word, how many options can there possibly be? So the second is a quilted table runner without any Insulbright. So I've shown this before. This is my Halloween, and I love, love, love it. Table runner, this is what I used for the back. This is quilted, as you see here on the diagonal. This is how I typically do a table runner when I'm using jelly roll strips. Now, it's not insulated. I'm going to show you all the different options without the insulation, but because of the labor intensity to sew all this together and quilt it, and the amount of thread that it takes and time that it takes, and it still has the quilt padding in it. And this is 35. The approximate measurements are 13 by 40. Now, if you're opting for the jelly roll strips and you want it wider, that is possible. But I would have to charge up accordingly for size, because it's going to increase all 3 layers of what you actually need. This one I actually quilted it all in black. So, guys, every time I do that, I knock my talking notes off. Okay, so that is called a quilted table runner. No insulation. Now, this is a non-quilted table runner. No insulation, but I wanted you to see what it looked like. Now, guys, this is one that I made myself for summer or spring. I love this fabric on the back because it does match the kitchen. It's a solid color, but I did use some strips, and I don't have these anymore, but I did. They're cotton jelly roll strips, and I made it a little bit wider, but I wanted you to see what it looks like if you don't quilt it. So it's definitely different. It doesn't have that dimensional look, but it's not awful. I just wanted to give that as an option. Why do I want to give it as an option? If you decide you want jelly roll stripes, but you also want insulation, I can't quilt that. It puts too many holes in the Insulbright, and I don't have confidence that it would protect the surface from heat that if you're putting like a hot casserole on it. So I am not willing to quilt something with Insulbright because I think it's going to just deteriorate the purpose of the whole thing. So this is what it would look like. It would be a little bit thicker if you decide, well, I want jelly roll strips, but I want it also insulated. So what does an insulated one look like? Oh, if you want a table runner with no insulation, it's $30. If you want a table runner that's insulated but not quilted, and guys, we can talk about this in the email. Is this gorgeous? This one's going to be hard to let go of, but this one is up for sale. And the table runner here is 13 by 40. And guys, sometimes on the strips, I meant to mention this, sometimes I'll have like a couple short strips, so it may not be exactly 40. These are handcrafted products, so there may be some variety in measurements. Not trying to cheat anybody, it's just kind of the way it goes. So can you see how much thicker this one is? Frankie must have come in here and loved up on all of them. I love the backing because it's a couple colors. If you don't want to soil the front and you have messy guests in the serving line, because you know somebody's going to slop, you can always put it on this side and save the pretty side for after. I absolutely love these leaves. I think this is just stunning. So this is a table runner that is insulated, no strips, and obviously not quilted because it doesn't have the strips. But how pretty would this be across your table, across your island, serving at Thanksgiving? Everybody's going to be like, where'd you get that? And you're going to be like, I had it custom made. Okay, the last item. Guys, I don't have the last item to show you, so I'm probably going to have to do a separate video, and that's a bowl cozy. If you don't know what a bowl cozy is, I couldn't find mine. And I wasn't willing to empty out the whole drawer. Pardon me. Y'all just don't ever suffer from chronic hiccups. They are miserable. Okay, so a bowl cozy it has Insulbright and it has the quilt batting in it. It's a cupped fabric thingy that you can put a hot bowl in so that you can hold it and eat your soup. Some people like them so that they're microwavable. You can't use Insulbright in the microwave, so that would just have the quilt batting. So if you want a bowl cozy with just the batting, no insulation, it's $7. Guys, they're very labor intensive. And if you want an insulated bowl cozy for no microwaving, it'd be $8. And I know that will be, that's a good stocking stuffer. It's a good hostess gift. I just have been so busy, well, you have no idea, trying to get back in the swing of things with videos. And I'm sure you noticed I had a bunch up this week, right? So that has taken a lot of time. And I'm still having to rest a lot, guys. I mean, I'm not cancer-free. My tumor is down to about half of the size of what it was, but I'm on immunotherapy. And so coming up this coming week, I have so many appointments. I have an appointment with my lung doctor. I have an appointment with my oncologist. I have an appointment to get my blood drawn. And I have an appointment for my immunotherapy IV treatment. So I may not have as many videos, so I was trying to get ahead and sew some things because it takes me a while. All right, guys, let me kind of switch gears, grab the fabric. We'll go through the fabrics really, really quickly, and then I'll do a recap at the very end. All right, y'all, you may hear a little munchkin in the background. Frankie has joined us. He's like, what are you doing up here, Mom? Can I get into stuff? There he goes. He likes to get into the bags. I don't know why. I think he's probably saying, is this for me? All right, let's go through fabric. Fabric number 1 is the Thanksgiving fabric that I showed you. This is, all of these fabrics in this stack are 100% cotton. Fabric number 2 is called Pumpkin Neutrals. So it has all of the different textures of pumpkins, and it's pumpkins and then like earth tones. This is a very, very pretty, elegant, I think, fabric. Number 3, one of my personal favorites, but I always think of my pillowcases. Is you all done there, buddy? Okay. He's like, nothing for me, Mom. Number 3 is called Pumpkins Teal, because it's almost all pumpkins. There's some corn in there and some berries, but this is a very pretty fabric and it makes up beautifully, guys. I've sewn with this before. Number 4 choice is Harvest Trucks. So there's a variety of trucks, some disproportionately large pumpkins, but this is just a real harvesty, farm, homey kind of fabric. I like this one a whole lot, personally, probably because it has the teal. A lot of these have the blue in it. Blue is a big color decor-wise this year, but just wait a minute and it'll be something different. Okay, fabric number 5, I'm calling Scarecrow, but it's really a farm one. There's a wagon with pumpkins, there's a tractor, fall leaves, but I kind of am covering up. Fold that up. The Scarecrow's super cute. Nice cotton fabrics, guys. These are not your Walmart thinner quality fabrics, although there's a time and a place for that as well. And if that's all I can get, that's what I use. And some of the Waverly fabrics that Walmart has are pretty nice. Okay, number 6, leaves. What else would you call this, right? So it's just got all of the earth tones of fall changing colors on a black background. Love this. Number 7, so we're switching to Christmas right here, are the candy canes with the little holly or mistletoe, whatever you want to call it. Really pretty on a black background. Has some snowflakes as well. Number 8, love this, are the trees. So one of the reasons that I chose this was I tried to choose at least one holiday fabric or Christmas fabric that you could use through the winter. And even though this has ornaments on it, I think you could use this all through the winter. I might have to heist a section of this for my own kitchen. Okay, now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about fabric backing, and let me explain a little bit what's the difference between a fabric and a fabric backing. All right, y'all. Normally, when I'm doing a canning mat or even a table runner, one side is the decorative side, the other side is a solid color. Pardon me. So as I showed you, just for example, on the canning mat, the Thanksgiving fabric, this is color A. It's just a plain brown, and it's cotton, but it's homespun. It makes up so pretty. Well, you saw. It just makes up so pretty. It sews beautifully. So it's just a little more prominent weave, if you can see that. But I love this. I think it's very country chic, and it makes a good backing. Now, what happens if you want one holiday on the front and another on the back? Well, I'm going to have a bunch of extra backing fabric. Number 1, there may be a slight upcharge, but right now I'm not planning on doing that. I will simply go back to Hobby Lobby if I absolutely have to, and if there's even fabric left, guys. That's the thing. I'm not going to pay shipping from Hobby Lobby, and you have to have a pretty large order to get free shipping if that's their deal. So I would prefer to do the backing on the back. It's all fabric. There's no difference in the quality or the composition of it. It's just one is solid, one has the print. Okay, color number B is the orange. I have a lot of this, guys. And if I showed it to you made up in one of the table runners, but it's very variegated. You know, it has a little variety of color. So I really like that. Color number C is the same as the orange, but it's rust. And what I can tell you all, this fabric and the orange fabric were $3 more a yard. So it's really good quality fabric. Now, that's because this wasn't on sale, the other was. So I can, because I have to be in Beaver Creek this week, supposedly I can take my receipt because everything is going to be discounted and get those items. I still even have my slip where they wrote all the fabrics down. I can get those items discounted and cash back. I hope so, because I spent too much money. All right, here we go. Backing or fronting, number D, are the Christmas lights. I just think this is so cute. It's a happy little white, and it has pink and blue and green and orange and yellow and red. So any color scheme that you're going to go with for Christmas, this would look good. And then the final backing fabric, this feels wonderful too. This is super soft, but it is 100% cotton. I'm calling Merry Christmas. Can you guess why? But you could honestly do this deal if you wanted as well. So any combinations at this point of those fabrics, I'm not going to turn down, but I will take orders in the order in which they are received. If I'm out of what you would like, I can share with you what I have left. If there's enough call for it, I will be right by Hobby Lobby twice this week so I could pick it up. And I hope you guys will jump on it and get ordering. And we'll talk about how to do that in just a minute. Now, there are a couple things I did want to share with you. I think I've shown them before, but I'm going to show them again. So I have some fall and jelly roll, and I have, let me just grab this thicker one. I have some of what I ordered as Thanksgiving. Now, guys, I can tell you these are not all 100% cotton. This, which is the fall, feels as if it's 100% cotton. They don't specify, and this came from Amazon, but it feels like cotton. It may be a poly cotton blend, but it has things like trucks and sunflowers and pumpkins. And I'm showing you these upside down, and colorful pumpkins and more colorful pumpkins and blue pumpkins. I love this one, bright blue pumpkins. So this is just fall things, right? And it would look good with really almost any of the fall color backings. So this is an option for you. If you decide you want a jelly roll, quilted or non-quilted, insulated or not insulated. Okay, then the fall one, I'm sure I've shown you before. And guys, I can tell you this definitely is a poly blend. Oh, there we go. I'm not throwing that on the floor. I have a trash can under there. These are super, super cute too. Oops. So let me do it this way. So pumpkins and sunflowers, pumpkin pie, fall leaves. And I've made one of these and shipped it out. I should have taken a picture. Sunflowers. This says Happy Thanksgiving. So there's not too many that are absolutely Thanksgiving. I think that's that one. And then this turkey one is so cute. And they're bright fall colors. It's just a lovely jelly roll. So that is an option for you as well. You'll have to check with me about what you want to order, as I said, just to make sure that I have everything. And then the final, I bought these Christmas strips last year and did not end up using them. These are cotton. They are lovely. So let me just give you an idea. So Christmas trees, Christmas ornaments, more Christmas trees. And some of these are going to be upside down, but you get the gist. Presents, Santa, stockings, dark stockings, sleighs. What do you call this thing? Snowflakes, Christmas trees, snow globes, teddy bears, gnomes, red berries, holly, cardinals, snowmen, poinsettias, snowmen, pretty Christmas trees. So, big variety. This is not as many strips as some of the ones that I've purchased, but they're really pretty. And I'm going to heist out what I want from mine first. All right, guys, let me give you a quick recap, just real high level, and then that'll be it for today. All right, y'all. How do you order? How do you pay? How do you tell me what you want? Very, very simple. Y'all, I don't have an Etsy shop. My son's been nagging me for like a week about it. I'm just not ready for that right now. I would rather work one-on-one in communication with you all. So here we go. You need to email me your order at sweethoneybath@gmail.com. My email is always in the description box, but it's way down. You got to scroll all the way through all the linked Amazon items to find it at the bottom. So you send me this email. You say, "Dear Miss Kym, I would like a canning mat, or I would like an insulated table runner, or I would like a quilted table runner without the insulation, of course. That's what I would like." I will come back to you. Oh, and you now have the fabric letters. If you didn't write them down, I don't blame you. You can say, I want the one Thanksgiving fabric. I want the neutral pumpkins. I want the Christmas trees. So you can tell me what you want. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to eat a breath mint in hopes it'll stop the hiccups. If I need to clarify, I'll simply email you back. And I am very good about my email. So you tell me what you want. I will then give you a total. Now my totals will be just what I told you. For a canning mat, $25. For the quilted strip table runner, which does not have insulation, $35. For a table runner, just of solid fabrics without insulation, $30. An insulated table runner with just the two fabrics, $35. And the bowl cozies, which I have not shown, without insulation, $7, with the metallic insulation, $8, and they cannot be put in the microwave. So that gives you the idea of the price. Now you're probably like, what about shipping? Guys, at this point, I can only ship in the US because otherwise it costs so much, it is not going to be worth it to you. And I'm just telling you the absolute truth. For a $25 item, you'll pay more than that. I'll pay more than that in shipping outside of the US. So I use USPS, United States Postal Service, priority mail. Why do I use priority mail? One, you get it faster. Now, it used to be guaranteed in 2 days. Now it's like, we'll get it there when we get it there. So a lot of times it's 3 to 4 days. So it comes faster. It carries insurance. So if something is lost in the mail, you can make a claim for that lost item and show your receipt. And it's flat rate. Now, that's the other reason. Unless you're ordering multiple things, I may have to use 2 of the flat rate envelopes. But anyway, the envelope is $12. And that also includes the packaging that I do for the materials, the tape, the tissue paper, the card that I write. You know, it just kind of covers everything. I think the post office charges $10.96 So, I'm not like making bank off shipping. I'm trying to just charge actual shipping plus $1 for materials. Okay, so there's that. Now, how on earth are you going to pay me? Well, my preferred method is Cash App. Y'all, if you haven't downloaded Cash App, it's an app. They have it for iOS or Android. Basically, when you go to pay, I send you an invoice. If you prefer, you'll have to give me your Cash App address, or I will give you my Cash App ID and you just send me the money. But there's a line in there that says for, and you can go ahead and put canning mat, table runner, bowl cozy, whatever. I'm not trying to get around paying taxes. I will get a report from Cash App at the end of the year about all the money that I've earned that I can then report to the IRS. So this is on the up and up, and it protects you. I've seen people, and this is nothing against Miss Gay, because Miss Gay is honest as the day is long, but who are like, well, just send it friends and family. I will say I've seen schemers, not Miss Gay. Miss Gay's honest. Miss Gay's one of my besties. They'll say, send it friends and family. Well, if something goes wrong in our working relationship or you're unsatisfied and you've sent it friends and family, technically you have no recourse. So this makes you feel better. It makes me feel better. I know I'm doing everything legally and on the up and up. And I'm not trying to, while this is a side hustle for me, I'm not trying to do anything dishonest. So I hope that helps. If you have questions, y'all, please don't hesitate to drop your questions below. Here's what you don't want to drop below. Don't drop me your orders. I won't take orders from comments. Why? Because I have no way to reach you. I don't know. I mean, other than replying to your comment to say, I can't take this order, you need to send it here. Let's establish that at least emailing relationship, so that if I want to send you a picture and say, here are the 7 strips I picked out laid on top of the backing fabric, what do you think? If I have any kind of question, do you want me to stay towards earth tones? Are you okay if I mix in a lot of colors? Do you want it predominantly blues and greens? Whatever question I might have, we need to be able to email one another. So I hope that helps everyone understand where I'm coming from. I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to go ahead and work ahead because I kind of know what I will sell. And I want to sew a few things. I want to make a few quilted table runners, because those are the things that take, I don't know, 1,000 years to get finished. They're lengthy. They're a lengthy sewing project. But I'm not charging you for my time, because if I did, it'd be priceless, right? That was a joke. I said, bum, bum. All right, y'all. I hope to see you next week. What are we going to be doing next week? Well, we're going to be full on harvest fall. I'm going to start decorating. I may be doing some crafts. I will definitely be sewing every single day as orders roll in. Oh, I didn't talk. One more thing. Delivery time. Now, if I get 50 orders, I'm in trouble, but I don't think I will. I think based on what I saw, I have about 20 items that folks are going to want. So it may take me a week, depending on how they're stacked up and who's ahead of you. I will tell you when we start this emailing process, approximately how long it will be. Once I take it to the post office and mail it, you will get a snapshot of the receipt, not necessarily for the total, but for the tracking number and the QR code, which is at the top of the receipt. So I hope that answers all the questions. Go ahead and smash that like button. Leave me a comment below. Are you going over to my email to place an order? I would love to know, and I hope you will. I hope this is something that you will enjoy. Folks have asked me why I don't make aprons, because I can't make an apron that holds a candle to Miss Gay over at Apron Strings. If you want an apron, go see Miss Gay. All right, guys, until I see you again, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.